more than likely it's my last year of summer ball. So, I really want to enjoy it truly as much as I can, and just not take it with a grain of salt and, have a blast with it. I mean, like I said, I have nothing but great things to say about the Bison, and I'm excited for 2026.
All right, welcome back into another edition of the Bison Player Spotlight. James Trietley here with you. And today we've got a special one. We're in 2026. We're gearing up for the third season for the Bison. And we have our first player returning for another season. It's infielder Ryan Beaty. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I know it is at the time of this recording fairly early, and having to navigate with some of these players like yourself. With class, with baseball schedules. I mean, we were just talking about it before we started. You're an early man, rising up, working out, and then navigating through being a college ball player.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and we had 6 a.m. waits this morning after a game last night. It's a struggle sometimes. You wake up and you're like, golly, it hits you like a train, but you got to keep going.
You play for East Texas Baptist University. You guys picked up the win last night, Tuesday, against Austin College. I believe 9-4, correct?
Yes, sir.
So a good start to the season. You guys hit the road this weekend, take on Chapman and Marshall, Texas for a 3-game series. So best of luck to y'all on that. But just kind of starting things out, looking at the off season, how was that? But also, how does it feel to be back playing baseball again?
It feels great. The off season, I hit it pretty hard. I got in the weight room a lot. The body's been feeling really well. But I'm just excited to get back into it.
You look at, obviously, being in East Texas. I see you're rocking the beanie right now. How cold are we looking? I know here in Abilene, it's probably about mid-40s.
It's probably about 50 or so. It was honestly it was an early morning, so it was the first thing I saw, to be honest with you, and just put it on and went to go get my lift in.
I love it. Let's go and go back to your time whenever you were at the Bison for the first time this past season. Playing with the Bison last year, obviously a fun time, a lot of experiences. What did you enjoy the most about playing here in Abilene?
I met some of my closest friends still to this day, honestly, from that team. Keep in touch with a lot of the guys. Obviously I've played summer ball forever. That was really the first year I've had like a really good, it didn't really feel like summer ball. It just felt like, you're just having a good time and, just enjoying the game, which was awesome. All the, the staff, all the coaches, especially Dice, you can't go wrong with Dice. He's unbelievable head coach. But all the coaching and all the staff was, great. And, I'm looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, we're excited to have you back again. This is for some breaking news that we have our first official player coming back for the 2026 season, so it's pretty exciting. And then you always talk about people talk about the fan experience. For some, it's a new experience for them because you're at JUCO level, D3 level. You don't get to see that experience as much with the fan experience that we got to have in 25. Kind of just take us through what you thought of having the fans out there.
Like you said, it's incredible. I got to start opening night last year, and I was not really expecting all that. There's a lot of people there, and it was definitely got the nerves going. But everybody supports you, so it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of people there. It just feels like there's a great group there.
You got an opportunity to play with a couple guys you're fairly familiar with, and the good old Rivers brothers. And not only, you guys are all the trio from Waller, but you guys spend a lot of time in the offseason doing some hunting as well. How'd the hunting go during the offseason with those guys?
So, I've been born and raised, my dad has brought me up hunting since I was a little kid. Keller and Davis, not so much. They're not, on the hunting side as much. But every Thanksgiving we do a Thanksgiving, family deal, and it's like a Friendsgiving kind of, and they come down every year and we just have a blast. Get to go, hunt, eat some good food, just enjoy each other's company.
That's just an awesome experience to be able to have, and especially getting to play summer with guys that you already know. Sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking going in and playing with guys that you have no idea who you're going to match up with. But it seemed like everybody on that team in 25 meshed really well, especially at the very beginning.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I met some of my closest friends still to this day from that team. I mean, all the guys were – I can't say enough good things about them, so.
You look at that season, obviously the playoff atmosphere was electric, didn't go our way. But looking back at last season, do you have a memory from last season that you remember the most, that you'll always cherish, or is it just all kind of bundled up into one?
I wouldn't necessarily say I have one, but the bus rides, you can't go wrong with the bus rides. Every single one of them has its new memory. So I think with any school, any baseball you do, the bus rides are, you never know what's going to go on in those. So, I mean, each one of those was pretty memorable for me.
Especially when you have a player like Cooper Schneider on those bus rides at all times. I think that makes sense.
Cooper was probably the main event for each one. So
I think that's the round table discussion for a lot of people. They can agree with that. We talked about you're playing with ETBU right now, starting off the season 1-0. You're looking at this season, kind of the things you worked on the offseason, but now working towards now. What are some of your goals to have here in this 2026 spring season?
Coming into this year, obviously, ranked in the top 25. This program's awesome. All the coaching staff is great here, and of course, the players are great as well. My goals is just get as much playing time as I can. That's probably pretty simple for most people, but like just any chance I get, go out there and show myself, and just show that all the hard work is going to something good. But like getting some good playing time and really just enjoying it. Just taking one step at a time, and not trying to go too far and do too much.
It's a highly touted program, like you said, a lot of talent on that team, yourself included. If we're not talking about you, watching you throughout the season, who are some players that fans need to keep their eyes on at East Texas Baptist?
We have a kid who's we call him Unc. He's been here forever. I think he might be in his 5th year or his 4th. I can't remember, but he's been here since the start of it. So he's seen ETBU grow to what it has, and his name's Connor Massimini. He's a player that's incredible. He's gonna be one to watch this year.
I'm glad it's not the Unk that we saw in Piney Woods that we used to see all the time during the 25 season. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need any of that.
Yeah, that guy was something else.
We talk about, you're up early, you're getting all this done. Being a student athlete's never easy. Kind of take us through what a normal day looks like for Ryan Beaty being a student athlete.
So, being in the JUCO, for my first 2 years, it's definitely it's a lot different here. Being at the university, especially here, they take, school pretty serious. Early morning weights most of the time. But if you don't have early morning weights, you have an early morning class. So you're starting your day off early no matter what you're doing. But, we go from class, and then we usually go around 1 to 2. We'll have early work. So that's about a 2-hour hitting process. And then right after early work, we might, depends obviously when your classes are. You might have 30 minutes, you might not. Or if you don't, you go straight into practice, and you're looking at a 8 a.m. to an 8 p.m. day almost every single day. So it's a grind for sure.
No, absolutely. I give you all the credit in the world. Every student athlete out there, I can never do it, but I couldn't do it for other reasons. I wasn't that athletically ready to go out there and play ball like you guys are.
I hear you. My body screams at me every day. There's no doubt.
No kidding. You said you're up doing weights at 6 a.m. I have friends that do it. I said, there's no way I can get my body ready to get that going, but maybe try it one time and just see if I'm getting it going.
That as well. It's the wake up that's the hardest. Once you're actually there and you get going, you feel great after. So I mean, it's the initial when that alarm hits is when that's the hardest part is not hitting the snooze.
I think I hit the snooze about 2 or 3 times already this morning, so I'm not off to a hot start. We'll try and work it out.
I can't hit the snooze. If not, I got a roommate that's my alarm clock. So.
Yeah, see, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. We look at this 2026 season coming up. Obviously, the third annual. We've got Bison Bash here on February 28th at DoubleTree from 2 to 5. From your standpoint, aside from just overall getting better, what are some of your goals going into the 2026 season?
Like I said, the same things here. Play as much as I can, and help out the Bison as much as I can. Whether it be the fan connections, and just make the experience better for every single person there. Like I said last year, I mean, I had an incredible time, met some great people, and more than likely it's my last year of summer ball. So I really want to enjoy it truly as much as I can, and just not take it with a grain of salt and have a blast with it. I mean, like I said, I have nothing but great things to say about the Bison, and I'm excited for 2026.
You got a good chance to enjoy your time in Abilene, your first year last year, and some really cool things that we've done that some teams don't do. It's a lot of promotional giveaways. Did you have one? We're having our promotional schedule get released here soon at Bison Bash. Did you have one that you thought, man, that's really cool?
I like the bobblehead. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved bobbleheads. So I think that one was pretty cool.
I know the Rangers released their 2020. Are you a Rangers fan, correct? No? Astros. Okay, so I just completely moved point at that point. That the Rangers released the Nolan Ryan bloody lip jersey from that infamous moment.
Yep, an Astro.
See, we can't even relate there. I'll move past that. The bobblehead. I'll say this: we got a really cool bobblehead lined up this year. Whenever it comes out, I think you guys are going to really love it. Now, the last question I'll ask you, and this I'm not going to say too much about the bobblehead stuff, but do you think you have a shot at having the best mustache on the team this year? Because we had a lot of talent last year when that came up.
100%. I'll put a run in for it, without a doubt.
I like it. The confidence is all there.
Last year would be Riley, but I think I still got him.
This year we're adding Kyler Harris, our pitching coach. He rocked a bit of a stash during the season, and we'll see if he brings it on out for the summer ball season here in Abilene.
Love to see it.
All right, that's Ryan Beaty, infielder. He's up early. He's got to get to class here in a bit. We appreciate the time, Ryan. We're looking forward to seeing you back here in Abilene in 2026.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Thank you.